beginning of the
There's a
movie.
recut in there.
And then, because I mean, can you imagine if Rogue One started the standard Star Wars way with the opening crawl? And it panned down and you saw the rings of the planet.
Yeah.
How amazing would that have been?
I know.
But instead it just goes, bam, oh, there's the rings.
I know, because even Solo starts, you're eased more into Solo as well.
You are. I love how Solo begins because it does the opening text, but in a different way.
Yeah.
It kind of does it in the A Long Time Ago in a Galaxy Far, Far Away text, and then it keeps coming up and coming up, and I thought, oh, this is different.
And then
but
you
it's
get the
still
cool logo that kind of appears just...
Yeah, and it like zooms at the screen and
into
stuff,
it.
because, again, that fits the tone because Solo's an action movie.
Yeah.
And I thought, yeah, that's really cool. It kind of eases you in, but as you say with Rogue One, it's just...
It was just so
hang on,
jarring.
what?
It was so, and every time I watch it, I still feel... No, that's wrong.
Do you get that little jolt?
Yeah,
like
no,
when the movie starts?
why is this? Oh, you're in the movie.
Yeah.
You know, it just feels wrong.
It's like the movie goes, I've got a Star Wars movie here for you. You have a what there for me?
Yeah.
I have a Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Oh my God, it's a spaceship. Yeah.
Hi, this is Ashley Eckstein, voice of Ahsoka Tano on Star Wars The Clone Wars, and I follow the nerd.
One of the biggest letdowns ever was this whole Jeff Bridges back as the dude thing.
Oh, God, don't get me started.
Oh, what a nightmare.
Don't get me started. I mean, I knew the second that I saw it come out, and you see the little tumbleweed and it reveals the date. I was sitting going, yeah, that's Super Bowl Sunday. It's going to be another one of those. Do you like that Dundee trailer?
Yeah,
that
I
came
find
out
a lot of
last
people
year?
thought that's what
Although,
it's going to be.
this is worse. This is a major kick in the nads to all the fans.
It's an ad for Stella Artois.
Not only that, it's an ad for Stella Artois with the dude and Sarah Jessica Parker off of Sex and the City.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Carrie Bradshaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's a pairing we were waiting for
Be
years.
ashamed of yourself that you know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's for Stella Artois.
I know.
I'm never drinking that again.
It's
Not
it's
that I
brutal.
drank it before.
It's
but,
brutal.
Yeah.
It's such a betrayal. It almost feels like a betrayal, doesn't it?
It does, yeah. And here's the worst thing about it, too, is that the whole, tag of this advert seems to be that, the dude's known for liking White Russians. Carrie Bradshaw's known for liking a cocktail or something like that. Like, she always orders the same cocktail. The dude always makes the same cocktail.
Yep.
And they sit in a restaurant together and they both order a Stella Artois.
A restaurant, by the way, that the dude would never have been seen dead in.
No, he wouldn't have.
But anyway.
I don't get it. They sold out the
I
dude.
honestly thought it was something big. One of our friends, Justin, you know Justin from the Emerald Garrison?
Yes, yeah.
He's like the biggest Lebowski fan on the planet. He dresses up at cons as Lebowski.
I've seen him do it.
Yeah,
The
the
guy's
dude
very
abides.
talented,
The dude
yeah.
abides, okay. So, but his theory was that he might be hosting the Oscars.
As the dude?
As the dude. Because he was like,
it's worse now. It's worse now.
He's like, if you look, you know, he's at a red carpet at the end. And,
Yeah.
you know, there's a ton of weight. He said, and like the thing he noticed, right? This is how hardcore he is. He was like, the dude's wearing a wedding ring. The dude would never wear a wedding ring.
Yeah.
So he thought maybe it's like a nod to both Jeff Bridges and the dude. And
Yeah.
his idea was that maybe he was going to announce he's hosting the Oscars.
But no, Stella Artois,
But no,
hashtag
Stella
drink Stella Artois, Stella Artois is amazing, hashtag Stella Artois.
But that being said, the debut was still supposed to be this Sunday coming for Sunday Super Bowl. So maybe there is something else coming.
No, I literally think that's when the full
You think so?
trailer
The full
drops.
trailer's gonna
That's
play?
all it's going to be. So disheartening.
Yeah.
So
Also,
not cool.
staying with Super Bowl Sunday, there's not going to be a Star Wars trailer. Everybody was hoping for the Star Wars 9 teaser.
No, I doubt.
They said no.
I doubted that there was
They're
going
not
to be
gonna do
one.
it. Warner Brothers aren't, because everyone thought we'd make it an Al Shazam trailer and stuff as well.
Well, no, because there's enough Shazam trailers out now, surely,
Yeah.
isn't there?
Shazam looks wonderful, by the way.
It looks amazing.
It looks so
I
much
can't
fun.
remember. Like I was talking about it in the show last week. Have you seen the meme
No.
where the little boy's jumping off the roof and as he says Shazam, the lightning bolt
Oh, yeah,
hits
yeah.
him, but it's Thor in the lightning bolt smacking him in the chest with Mjolnir.
Right, okay.
I thought that was done really well.
All right, good.
But no, it looks
That
fantastic.
shot is incredible.
Yeah.
That shot is
Shazam!
absolutely incredible. Yeah.
It's like he's leaping off a building, but it's also leaping straight out of the comic books.
Yeah. It's beautiful.
It looks
It's
fantastic. It looks like it has a good heart to it. It looks like it has a great tone to it. I can't wait for this.
Yeah.
I really can't.
Will we see Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam in it?
Perhaps at the end, because I
think we'll see
know
him at the end.
Mark Strong's character, he's responsible for Black Adam.
Yeah.
He's the one that goes off and gets him because
Dr. Savannah, I think he's called.
Savannah, yeah, that's right, because I was trying to remember his name last week. But, so I think he fails at the end of this movie, and then maybe post-credit scene style.
I think we'll get him post-credit scene.
Like, you'll just have The Rock step in and go, don't worry, mate, I've got this covered.
Yeah. I think they'll give us, like, the lightning bolt, and we'll think it's Shazam, and then it'll fade out to light, and it'll
it's
actually
The Rock.
be The Rock.
Yeah.
Boom! I'm paying my admission just to see that.
Oh, are you kidding me? I've already got my tickets pre-booked.
Yeah, I cannot wait for Shazam. I think Shazam looks really, really good. Because it has that beautiful kind of... I never realised as a kid that Banana Man was obviously a send-up of Shazam.
Of Shazam, yeah.
Yeah, I never realised that as a kid because I wasn't aware of Shazam, Captain Marvel. But it just looks so good. It looks like an 80s homage to everything that was wonderful about the 80s.
It actually does. That's something that I'm starting to see a lot of now in movies, is this whole kind of... I don't know, bringing the 80s back sort of a thing. Like Bumblebee's the perfect example of that.
Yeah, exactly.
Because Bumblebee genuinely feels like it was written in 1987.
Yeah.
It just so happened to be released now with updated special effects.
Yeah.
It feels like that. And Shazam looks like another element of this.
It does, yeah.
Where it kind of feels like they're mixing big with Superman.
Yeah.
But in both of those styles kind of mashed together.
Yeah.
I'm loving that.
I love that as well.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe it's just... Well, it is obvious. It's not just my age group, because I know I'm 10 years older than you. But...
You are?
I am.
Guess what, you wouldn't think it, would you? You wouldn't think it.
Yeah.
The bags under them eyes.
You can put the shopping in there.
Goodness me.
But I honestly think that the 80s is becoming the definitive generation for movies.
It is, and another thing that kind of annoys me too, because I read an opinion piece about this in, I think it was The Independent a couple of weeks back, where the columnist actually had a pretty good point, which is that this decade has no defining moment.
Yeah.
It has nothing creative when it comes to music or TV or movies or fashion or anything like that. It just feels so generic.
Yeah.
And it's got to the point now where everything is so cookie cutter that we're starting to regress now. We're starting to go back. And we're starting to pick fashion trends from the 80s. We're starting to pick movie styles from the 80s. And that seems to be informing us now. Whereas in the past, the 60s informed the 70s. The 70s informed the 80s informed the 90s. And the 90s informed no one because we're getting high.
Yeah.
You know? Like,
Yeah.
But is that just me?
No,
or
it's
did you
not
not
just
notice,
you.
like, the 90s has a certain flavour. The 80s has a certain flavour.
Yeah.
The 2000s doesn't. Everything's chalk and cheese.
The 80s to me has this wonderful feeling of there's nothing cynical in the 80s. Everything in the 80s is magical and innocent and,
Yeah.
you know...
And even things that
there's
are
just more
cynical
to life.
turn into things like Red Dawn.
Yeah.
Or The Breakfast Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Where it inspires that little bit of hope. Again, that's something that, tying back to what we were talking about earlier in the show with the Orville, where the Orville feels like Star Trek The Next Generation, something that started in the 80s.
Yeah.
And has that sense of hopefulness.
But you even think, like you say to somebody, you know, who's your favourite character from the 80s? You know, they're going to say Beetlejuice, they're going to say Jack Burton, they're going to say Peter Venkman, they're going to say the Gremlins,
Marty
the Predator,
McFly.
the Terminator, Marty McFly,
Yeah.
Indiana Jones, Luke Skywalker, Han Solo. All of these things lived and breathed in the 80s.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice, you know, all of these things were... And it just seems to me that there's never been anything as iconic as any of those movies in the last 20, 30 years.
No, exactly
No.
right. I mean, now everything is so cynical based.
Yeah.
Where, like, I can't remember, what was the trend before all the superhero shebangery started?
The horror, the reality-based kind of horror movies, like those kind of things.
Oh, yeah, like Paranormal Activity and
Yeah, that
stuff
kind
like
of thing,
that.
and Ring and stuff. There's a lot of that kind of stuff going on as well.
Yeah,
And
but, like, I mean, for major modern
I don't
audiences,
think there was anything.
there was nothing.
No.
So then, obviously, Marvel came along with Iron Man and stuff and filled that void.
Yeah.
And then obviously now you've got DC and everything starting up with that too. But it all feels manufactured, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
It doesn't feel like, hey, we've got a really great idea for another Thor movie. It feels like, right, guys, we need to make another Thor movie.
Yeah.
Here, right, go, here's your money, go write your script.
But I think that's why it was so important, because those movies come in, you know, Thor doesn't really... To me, Thor isn't really that great of a character.
No.
You know, Captain America, maybe Iron Man, maybe. But again, you know, I think the great thing about the 80s was that the 80s wasn't really that time. It wasn't really a time for sequels so much. You know, I know we had Ghostbusters, but a lot of them, Tremors, Big Trouble in Little China, Beetlejuice, The Terminator. Well, I suppose Terminator doesn't really count, but it felt like that moment, that character was just everything.
Yeah.
You know, and you weren't watching it going, oh, I can't wait for the sequel.
But the thing is, it feels bonkers and it feels mental.
Yeah.
It like whenever you go to see Gremlins, you've never seen anything like Gremlins
know,
before.
yeah.
Whenever you go to see Ghostbusters, it feels like you've never seen this before. Same with Back to the Future. Whereas in this day and age, you're sitting watching movies now going, oh, that's like this or that's like that, or oh, look, there's the 15th time they've set up something that's going to happen in the 6th movie down the line that's never going to get made because this movie didn't make enough money.
Yeah.
You know, and it's all corporate nonsense, and it's just so cynical, and it just feels like a business move. It feels like they're trying to sell you a product. They're not trying to sell you ideas anymore, man.
Yeah, but that's it. But like, even whenever sequels did come out in the 80s, you know, like I remember Back to the Future 2 came out, and at the end of it, it had a tease for Back to the Future 3. Mind blown.
Yeah.
Mind blown. It was like, oh my god, nobody's ever done this before. They've just given us a second movie, and the third one's coming.
Yeah, and the following summer, no
and
less.
You're excited for it, you know.
Yeah.
And it felt like, oh my god, they've made another Terminator. But it didn't feel like, you know, now you watch a movie and you know, it's like a sequel's coming.
Yeah.
You know, like Edgar Wright has announced that he's currently writing he's finished the first draft of the script for Baby Driver. I loved Baby Driver.
He's making another Baby Driver?
He's making a sequel to Baby Driver. I love Baby Driver. It's one of my favourite films the last few years. But I didn't feel at the end of it we're going to get a sequel. I'm excited for a sequel. Do you know what I mean? Because it didn't feel like it was made to create a shared universe.
Yeah, it just felt like it was its own thing, but it left the road open at the end for a sequel.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and now Edgar Wright's like, I'm going to revisit that character and tell you something else about him.
Although if there's one Edgar Wright movie I'd love a sequel to, it's Shaun of the Dead.
Really? I see Hot Fuzz, I think, is a better movie than Shaun of the Dead.
It is a better movie, but like I want it based on the title alone that they were throwing about for a couple of years there. From Dusk Till Shaun.
From Dusk Till Shaun, that's
yes,
right.
please.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll take a wee slice of that.
Even just a comic book.
Yeah.
Even just a comic book.
But like it's an alternate universe where instead of zombies, it's vampires.
It's vampires.
I'd love that.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I think that'll be pretty cool as well. But yeah, speaking of zombies, and this is another story we're going to cover anyway, Zack Snyder has announced that he's making a zombie movie.
He is,
Army of the Dead for Netflix.
Yes, he's returning back to the world of Dawn of the Dead again, but now it's a heist movie set in a zombie apocalypse.
Yeah, I think basically what happens is this sort of part of America has become overridden with zombies.
The living dead,
and these mercenaries, they know that somewhere in the middle of it there's a lot of money, and they go in to get it.
So it's kind of like a Raccoon City sort of deal?
I think so, yeah.
Oh,
and it sounds great.
It does, yeah.
And what I love about it is he said that, you know, there's no restrictions. He's never been cut loose before, and now he's being cut loose.
Right?
Yes, please.
So no studio executives, no co-writers or anything else, no producers?
He was developing it for something like 7 years at Warner Brothers, and then Warner Brothers, because they did the dirt on him, and I don't care what anybody says, they did the dirt on him.
Yeah.
The movie got scrapped, and Netflix came in and said, look, we'll make it. And they basically said to him, here's $90 million, go and make your zombie movie.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Meanwhile, everybody's like, yes, hashtag release the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds great.
Netflix actually are releasing the Snyder Cut.
Yeah.
Without making an
zombies.
absolute balls of the original cut in the first place.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
I'll take that.
So Zack Snyder, heist movie plus zombies equals Happy
Profit.
Days. Happy Days. His Dawn of the Dead was amazing.
It's spectacular,
It's so good.
There's sometimes where I still can't get images of it out of my head.
Yeah.
Like the zombie baby, or like the guy at the end that has to blow up the gas canister. And he goes like, just my luck, or something like that, and blows it up.
Yeah.
Or the guy what's his name, Dan, that owns the gun shop?
I can't remember, but I know.
It's tragic.
Oh, across the way, the guy
Yeah.
they're communicating with. That's right.
Tragic.
Yeah, I need to watch it again. It has the best opening. The credits are incredible.
Yeah.
And then that scene where you just see all hell break loose in the
Do
streets.
you remember they broadcast that on Channel 4 to promote the movie?
No.
They broadcast that at midnight on Channel 4.
Well, like the opening credits thing?
No, the entire opening titles, to the point where, what's your woman's name? Polly something or other?
Oh, I can't remember her name.
Like, the point where she gets in the car and she's driving off down the highway, and you see, like, the news helicopter.
Yeah.
It broadcast from the start of the movie up to that.
No way.
On Channel 4 to promote the movie in 2004 when it was coming out.
Wow, okay. Yeah, because I remember at the time the American album had just come out, American 4, I think it was, Johnny Cash with The Man Comes Around.
Yes, yeah.
And just that song on that opening, it just felt perfect. And to me, it's still probably one of my favourite Zack Snyder movies. I don't care what anybody says about Zack Snyder, he is an absolutely incredible visual filmmaker.
He is that. Do you remember the whole thing with 2004? Because it was the remake of Dawn of the Dead versus Shaun of the Dead? Because they both pretty much came out around the same time?
I do, yeah. It was like the Resident Evil 48 or 28 days later.
28 days later thing, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I miss 2004. Can we get that back?
Hello, Ghostbusters. You do? You have? No kidding. Guys, these people are following the nerd. Although why they rang me to tell me is a bit of a mystery. Seems like some kind of clunky shout-out for a radio show. I'm not actually Janine Melnitz, you know. I'm Laura Summer, the voice artist who played her. Seriously, how do these nerds keep getting my number?
You're in the book, love, that's why.
Hey. Laura Summer, she was a great interview.